Well guys, finally figured it out. I finally figured out why my Boston Whaler is so stinking slow. You guys heard me talk about it in a ton of videos, the water test video and the previous video of us fishing in it the first time. And guys, I'm such an idiot, but I finally figured out why it is so slow. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Alrighty, yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy, one of a kind, and today guys we're going to be talking about the Boston Whaler. It's the favorite thing of this channel, guys. So today's gonna be a very informative video. I know I've been getting a lot of comments on all my whaler videos post the restoration of the water test and everything else, asking if I've figured out the issue of the motor, why it was bogging, and why it was running really rough, and why it was really slow, to be honest with you. So at first what I thought is it's a pro kicker, right? And my whole thing with that was that it's supposed to be like a backup engine, on a bigger boat, so it's supposed to get you back to shore. It's more torque than speed. And I guess I was wrong. Let me tell you how I found out about this. So I was actually going to sell this motor and put a 40 on the back of this thing until I took a compression test, because the buyer wanted to see the compression. And the top cylinder was fine, it was great, it was 120, that's pretty standard, I guess. It's not terrible, it's not the greatest, but it's 120. And the bottom cylinder came back at 50, guys. So I was like, what the heck? And I was like thinking back to everything. I'm like, dude, I've tried every single thing trying to figure out why this motor is so slow, and I ruled out compression, guys. And to be honest, I really can't be mad at myself, because when I first bought this boat, guys, I didn't really know anything I know now. I didn't really think to check compression. I'd watched a few videos, but I really wasn't informed, right? And I was thinking, oh, a new motor, it's barely been used, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna have no problems whatsoever. So it's honestly my fault for not checking that before I bought the boat, so it is what it is, guys. I'm just glad we kind of have a solution to the problem now. We finally know what is wrong with it. So it's got low compression, so it's basically only running on one cylinder, which is why our top speed's like 10 miles an hour. And I've actually seen on YouTube, guys, my same motor on this boat go like 25 miles an hour. So I know it's a good motor, but now what we have to do is try to fix this. And let me go ahead and tell you guys how we're gonna do that. So basically, guys, what we're gonna go ahead and try and do is, from what I've read online, a common issue could be a carbon buildup inside the motor, especially the newer motors. If you're getting good PSI on one cylinder and then really low on the other, it could be just a carbon buildup, which would make sense because I do have a carbon problem. When we took our boat out in the Keys, there was carbon on the transom, and you take the spark plugs out and it's got a bunch of carbon on them. So that honestly could make a lot of sense. So what we're gonna go ahead and do today, guys, is we're gonna go ahead and use Seafoam. So we got Seafoam here, guys. It was like $10 at my local auto parts store, and it's meant for outboards too. And basically, guys, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and mix this with our fuel, run the engine, and it's supposed to burn the carbon out of the engine, and I'm hoping that'll kind of go ahead and open up something. It'll burn the carbon out, it'll release the pistons if they're kind of stuck, or if there's a carbon buildup, something. So I'm hoping for good luck here, guys. So I figured, why not just take you guys along with the journey, and show you guys me trying to get my motor 100% up and running, because fishing season's coming up. So let's go ahead and first off, I want to show you guys the low compression, and then we'll go ahead and show you guys fixing the engine. Alrighty, guys, so step number one, we're gonna go and take our cowling off. And many of you guys probably already know how to check compression, but for those of you at home that don't, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how. So tip number one, absolutely do not get a compression gauge from Harbor Freight. They're always terrible. So I got my compression gauge from a local auto parts store. So basically, guys, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and take the spark plug out of the top cylinder, put this thing in, and kind of give the motor let it crank up for maybe 5 to 8 seconds, and go ahead and check the compression. And that's kind of how you tell the compression on both cylinders. So let's go ahead and hook that up and get that going. Alrighty, guys, now that our gauge is officially on, we're gonna go ahead and put the key in the ignition. The motor will not start. We're just gonna go ahead and count to 8 seconds in our head, let the motor crank up, and basically what it's gonna do is test the compression pretty much, and we'll be able to see that on the gauge for the top cylinder. So I'm gonna take the key, let's go ahead and do that, and we'll see what we get. Now going back to our gauge, guys, you can see the top cylinder has about 130 psi of compression, so that's pretty standard, I guess, from what I've read. Anywhere from like 130 to 150 is pretty good on these 4-strokes, so not too terrible on the top one, but the bottom one's when we have an issue. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. Now we're just going to do the same thing on the bottom cylinder. Basically just kind of screw this bad boy in. We're going to check the compression of the bottom cylinder, which is the one having the issue. And basically, guys, I was really shocked when I found this out, because it had never even passed, you know, my mind, and I'm just kind of like disappointed in myself, to be honest with you, that like it really didn't, because I tried everything like off camera too. The fuel pump, I cleaned out the carb a million times. Like, dude, I mean, I've tried everything with this freaking motor, and here, long and behold, it was right in front of my face, the issue. So let's go and show you guys this issue, and then we'll go ahead and get mixed into the fuel. So our compression on the bottom cylinder is just under 60 psi, guys. Obviously that's not good. That's like 70 psi less than our top one, that's a huge difference, and that's not good. If they were maybe in like 5 or 10 psi, it really wouldn't be that big a worry, but obviously that's not good, and our engine is basically running off one cylinder. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, guys, is we're going to go ahead and add our Seafoam to our gas and go ahead and run the engine. And let me tell you guys how we're going to do that. So step number one, before we go ahead and add the treatment to our fuel, we're going to go ahead and let the motor run, heat up for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and add the additive to the fuel. So let's go ahead and let her run. So we're gonna go ahead and let it run for about 5 minutes, and then we'll catch you guys after she's done heating up. Guys, our motor ran for about 5 minutes, got it nice and warmed up. So now, guys, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our Seafoam here, and we're gonna go ahead and add, I'm thinking about 12 ounces into our mix, because we got about 1.5 gallons in there of fuel. So we're gonna go ahead and add 12 ounces of Seafoam in there, and then we're gonna let it go for about 15 minutes. Give it a cool down of about 10, and then give it another 15 minutes running, and we're gonna go ahead and like accelerate on the throttle to really get the fuel and get the engine moving, I guess, and get it really cycled through there. So let's go ahead and pour our Seafoam in there and get it in. Now we're gonna go ahead and pour our Seafoam in ever so carefully. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna go ahead and set our timer for 15 minutes. Basically, we're just going to go ahead and let it idle. I'm not gonna actually run it, because I know for a fact I don't have carbon in my carburetor. So we're gonna do 15 minutes of idling the motor, and that should cycle all the Seafoam through our motor, hopefully clean all the carbon off, and fingers crossed that's our issue. So let's go ahead and get this motor started up. All right. Now let's go ahead and start our timer, and let's see what happens. Supposedly it's supposed to smoke, which means all the carbon's going to be getting burned out of the motor. So I'll update you guys if something actually happens. Let's see. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. I'm not seeing any smoke, so it's the one time we actually want to see smoke. So we're going to go ahead and pause our timer, shut off the engine. We're going to go ahead and add the rest of the Seafoam. It might be hard to tell, but we're burning a little bit of white smoke finally. I think the Seafoam's finally starting to get through the system, so I'll keep you guys updated. So hopefully it keeps burning and some of that white smoke keeps coming through, but I'm seeing like little bursts of it, so the Seafoam's starting to run through. It's really starting to smoke now, which is good. All the carbon inside of there is being burnt out, so hopefully that's going to fix our issues. So I'm going to let this run for about another 30 minutes. And then we'll actually, we'll go ahead and do a compression test. But so far, it already sounds like it's running a little bit better. So guys, after finally the carbon started burning and I started seeing the white smoke, it took about an hour for that to kind of happen, because I guess I had a little bit more than a gallon in my tank. So I let it run for about 30 minutes with the white smoke coming out, which means the carbon was, you know, getting burnt. So now we're gonna go ahead and take off the bottom spark plug, and we're gonna go ahead and check the compression on the bottom cylinder, which is the one that was giving us issues before. And I guess we'll see if really doing this made any difference, or we're just gonna have to take it to the professionals, you know. So carbon definitely got burnt up, we know that for sure, but let's go ahead and see whether or not it made a difference at all. So I'm going to take this off, hook our compression tester up, and then, you know, we'll check and see what compression is. I have the feeling it did absolutely nothing, but you never know. You never know. Damn it, guys. We're still reading 60. That really sucks, man. Damn. Well, I had a feeling it just didn't do anything, but to see it actually do nothing kind of sucks. So, damn. Well, guys, unfortunately what that means is she's gonna have to go to the shop, and I really don't want to do that because it's gonna cost a pretty penny. So she's gonna have to go to the shop, and I don't know, we're gonna have to see what they say, really. I mean, I'm kind of upset, to be honest. I mean, it's part of owning a boat, I get it, but I'm just upset, man, because it could have been avoided if I just would have, you know, checked when I bought the boat. But whatever, you can't go back in the past. But damn, that sucks. I mean, the thing is, I can't even take it apart to try to fix it myself, because there's only so much I could learn on YouTube, you know. I guess the next episode, guys, of the Whaler, we're gonna go ahead and take her to a shop. That's all we really can do, is take her to a shop and see what they say, you know. So well, anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to go ahead and fix the motor, and I kind of let you guys in on what the reasoning was. So I kind of just wanted to take you guys along for the journey, and, you know, you guys have been with me since I you know, rebuilt the boat, bought the boat, and, you know, I'm just taking you guys through the part of owning the boat, and all the ups and downs that come with it. Really, with owning any boat, this boat, you know, just kind of showing you guys the reality of it is. I mean, you're not always just gonna have a great running boat that never has any issues, you know, no matter if it's brand new or 100 years old, you know. So it sucks, man, but, you know, there's nothing I can really do about it. So I guess in the next episode, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call around to a few shops, see what we can do, and hopefully get her on the water soon, because fishing season is coming up, boys. I mean, summertime, the bite is gonna be crazy, and we're gonna do some crazy stuff with this boat for sure. We're gonna try to get some dolphin and tuna on this boat, so it's gonna be crazy, man. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. It's a little bit of a sad, depressing one, but nonetheless, you know, kind of bringing you guys along with me. And if you guys want to see what happens with her and see how much it's gonna cost, definitely leave a like on the video, definitely subscribe for more videos, and yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much. One of a kind, out.